Check. We got sound now. Let's see here. Do we have sound now? Okay. Alrighty. We have sound now. I don't understand what's wrong with YouTube. Man. Okay, so what I've decided is that this video here is going to be too boring to watch. It will be extremely boring. So we're going to bend up the horn and get the horn set in, and maybe the push rod cut and done. Of course, this will take several sandings. Let me work on this side a little bit, and then we'll work on the push rod and the flap horn. If you want a good job, this is the hardest part of the build is painting this stupid thing. It takes way more time to paint it than it does to build it. That's why I get $1,500 to frame them, and I don't paint them. I got involved in that painting stuff with Tom Morris. I got hosed. Never do that again. Tom brought me airplanes that looked like they were sanded with a rock. One rock. Said, "Here, paint them." Oh yeah, I needed the money at the time. I was contracted to do 10 of them. Only ended up doing 5 of them. If you go back and look at the channel, the Max B, I had to completely rebuild the top of that. His Mustang had to redo it, about 90% of it. Formula S, man, the covering was put on. It wasn't even put on right. I had to strip that all off. And But I did end up with a sign plotter out of the deal. Steve was asking me what this big hole is for. Clarence, Clarence, Clarence. Clarence, Clarence. I need to find my knife. Pick this off. There we go. I don't want to unscrew that though. It'd be hard to get back in there. What kind of primer do you use? What would you recommend to prime a fiberglass and XPS foam wing? Well, this is a foam wing with wood on it, but it also has dope on it. And if you go to my Amazon store, you'll see the kind of primer I use. You can buy it there. Is it safe for foam? No. It's a lacquer base, so ain't nothing. The only thing good on foam is white glue. And that's too heavy. Go to my Amazon store and search U-Pole Sandable Primer. I used to use DC 540 till they changed the formula because environmentalist wackos felt it was harming the environment, which is nonsense. Okay, so let's do this horn. I've already marked this horn. One of the bearings goes in on this side because we're going to slip it through this way. And let's see, how do we want to, yeah. I got to make sure I do this right because it's only going to go in one way. Okay, it goes on this way. There we go. Okay, I'm going to bend this up real quick, and then we'll cut the lengths and I'll stick it in the hole. There's not a big mystery on how to bend this, so I'm not going to show it. You just bend it. Hopefully I get it right. Okay, so this is the way that it goes in. Like so. I have to bend this back this way. Back towards me. Where is the bender? There it is. Of course. There. Okay, I had to move that, so I got to come back here and do it. I'd only want to do this once. Okay, we're going to stick it in that way. This is the first one to bend. We got a bearing on each side. We're going to stick it in that way. So this side don't matter. This side don't matter. We're going to put that right on there. I'm going to set that straight up and down. Yeah. 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 Come on, bend, motherfucker. I need a different vise setup. This is ridiculous. Yeah. Ah, come on now. Close enough. Oh, a little too far. Okay. We got one side bent. Make sure we're going to do it's going to be right. It goes in this way. This is going to go here like so. I need that bearing on there, so that's got to stay there. Okay, now we need to put that right there. And we're going to bend this away. And it's going to pull it around. And then I got to cut it off. So we got our flat. That's good. Come on, this stupid vise. I need to screw it to the bench. Okay, it's gonna be flat. Looks like it. Yeah. That looks like I did it. And it ain't too far out of tweak. Now you ask yourself, how am I going to get that in there? Well, not a problem. except I'm gonna need a way to hold this. Okay, where are my cutters? Probably ought to use the cutoff wheel. Use the cutoff wheel. That's pretty close. Okay, let's use the cutoff wheel. We ain't gonna dick around with looking for them stupid things. Hopefully I can get the bearing on the other side. Hopefully. Okay, we needed about 1 inch long. Seems like these things are getting duller and duller. Got hot enough to burn the blanket. Okay. This is piano wire, it's not drill rod, so I normally use drill rod, but I already have this made up with piano wire. Joe don't like my drill rod horns. That's okay. I like them. Okay. Let me get a soda. About to die of thirst here. Okie dokie. Now you may think I just come up with this. Well, it took a lot of thinking to figure out how I'm going to do this. Hopefully it works. Okay, this horn here, it's an offset horn, will go through the fuselage like so. And I'll glue the bearing onto the fuselage. On the other side, I got a bearing. that hopefully will go around that 90-degree bend, and I'll glue it onto the other side of the fuselage. Then the horn is captured there, and I'll take some superfill and fill that in, and put the ball link on it, and we're done. So let's see how it works. Yeah, I'll probably do 2 shows today. I got to get it while I can, because YouTube's going to shut down live streaming. Go around there. Let's go. Don't give me any headache. Yeah, all right. Okay, the bearings are inset. Now I just need to make sure that it's in the center of the trailing edge. Get your ass in there. A little low on this side, so actually it's a little low on both sides, so I need to raise up that slot, excavate a little bit, raise it up, put some CA on it, tack it, and then we'll do the ball link. Vitoga, did you get the answer on the primer? Hopefully you buy it from me, from my Amazon store. I get a little commission on it. Okay. So part of the deal is to get this bearing right in the center of the trailing edge. That way, when I put the flaps in the center of the trailing edge, there's no bind. Okay, so it's a little low, so we're going to take and cut this out here. Just about a knife blade's width. I mean, I could get my Dremel and excavate it. You see, I just cut ever so slightly that piece there. I'll put it back and see if it raised it up. I'm up against hardwood inside, or not hardwood, but balsa wood. So I need to open up the fuselage inside. So we're gonna need my end router. Let's see what that looks like in there. No, I should be able to go up on that. Maybe not. I don't want it rubbing on the fuselage. So let's take this out. Open that up in there. Whole lot of trouble. Oh yeah, I see what it is. And it ain't much. It's just a red one. It ain't much. Let's see here. We want the end mill here, the spiral. That's not the one. That's not it. Oh, there it is. Right in front of my face. Right in front of my face. Okay. You see what kind of trouble I go through? And that's not even the filming of this crap. Let's see here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we're opened up good now. Okay. Come on. Normally, on a built-up wing, these bearings would be in the wing. But you can't do that with this, with a profile. Unless you want to cut the bottom of the fuselage off. And I didn't want to do that. And I still think it needs to go up just a little bit. I guess I could try to route that out. Yeah. And in case you're wondering, the stabilizer is done the same way. The elevators and stabilizer. Okay, I think I got it. We're going to need a better snorkel on this, so let me get that ready to go. When I get ready to tack it up in there. Yeah, I know I'm supposed to be using Zap, but I'm going to finish off my Bob Smith before I start using the Zap. Okay, so we got a snorkel. I'm going to raise that up as high as I can, tack it, go to the other side, raise it up and tack it, and hopefully that's it. Get the big picture, or get the picture. Didn't you used to be go for it painting? Okay, we got that ready. We got the kicker ready. Hopefully we don't have any problems. Set that right in the center. That's the center. Push it in real good. Tack it. Come on. Now onto this side. That worked perfect. That worked perfect. Now these will be buried in under the flap fairing. Now I've thought everything out on this airplane because, yep, that's right. Okay. The push rod has to run along here, and you'll notice on a lot of profiles, the flaps have a notch in them because when the flaps come up, they got to clear the push rod. Well, they don't have to have a notch in it if it has a flap fairing that's that wide, so that the push rod runs over the top of the flap fairing. So that was planned out. Along with this clearance and cutout for this, you wonder why is it so long? Well, I have to clear the ball link inside there. So that fairing will just come from this area here right straight to about here, and then it's about an inch wide. I think it's an inch wide. Straight like that. It looked like I knew what I was doing. And then last night I was asked, well, why didn't I superfill this area right here? You know, I superfilled this because I wanted it to look finished on the inside of that hole. And you're not going to be able to see up in that hole all the way up to there because a piece of wood's going to be glued to that. So I suppose the next thing to do is to figure out where to cut the push rod and cut the bolts and get that JB weld out. And JB weld that ball link in there. Let me tack this other one on. I still don't like how flimsy profiles are back here. The twist. It really needs some booms going forward. You know, you start spanning 30 inches across here. That's a lot of leverage. Yeah, that worked good. Okay, so let me turn it this way. Push that down in there. Give myself a little clearance. Well, it'd be nice to have John here help hold this stuff. I miss my building buddy. Tried to get a hold of Dan Winship this morning to see if we'd like to do a Saturday with Dan, but no answer. He must be shoveling snow or something. She's got some CA wicked in there somehow. There it is. Now we're going to hide that with a fairing, but I'm going to sand it flat. We'll sand her flat and wick a little more CA in there. I don't want the bearing to come undone. Yeah, more than you know. We went everywhere together. Before the Worlds, John and I had spent every Nationals in the same room for 10 years together. And so we made a reservation, and we had the same room again, and I went. Then I think I judged. I don't remember. No, that was last year. I don't remember what I was doing. Anyhow, the Nats had gone by, and I was in communication with John, and he told me while I'm in the hospital. So he was in the hospital at the last Nats. And then the Worlds came. And they moved me into a different room. And it was really strange because there was no Nationals people left. They were all Worlds guys. I still got the message on my phone. And I said, man, it really feels weird here without you. He said, yeah, he knew he didn't have long. He was in hospice. And then the last message I got was from his wife saying he had to the big flying field he went. Okay. I mean, if you wanted to, you could not put those fairings in there. You could sand and putty and finish that off so that it looked like just a little bushing coming out of the fuselage. But those are 7-ply plywood with a brass eyelet bearing, and this is just a locator to keep it from pushing the flaps out of the way. And it ain't gonna, I did my Viper center bearings very similar to this because it's a beam wing. You put the bearings in backwards in a 1/2-inch block, and then glue the block in between the fuselage sides so it locks the horn from sliding back and forth. I think that I better open up that hole so I don't have a problem with this stabilizer. I guess we could sand flaps today too. I'll show you how I do that. Let's see how much time we got. We got 44 minutes in. Yeah, I won't get to that. But the flaps got to go on first before I put them spacers in there. Yes, how did I get that horn with the offset key centered up? Well, I put the bend marks. I measured out from the fuselage 1.5 inches, put the horn where I wanted it in center line with the bell crank here, and then took a Sharpie and marked on the horn and then bent it so that they're equal spaced with an offset horn. Not a big deal, but just kind of shows you my goofy thinking. Whatever works. Doesn't matter how you get to the destination. It only matters that you get there. Because there's 1,000 ways to do things on these airplanes. Now, here's a tidbit. Because I can't see the bell crank in there, how do I know when it's centered? Well, I'm going to need to sand on that some more. That don't look well. It gets covered up with that fairing. If you look right here, I don't know, I doubt you can see it, but yeah, you're not going to be able to see it. There's 2 black marks. Okay. You pull the bell crank all the way to its stop, and you tighten this line up, and you put a mark on it. Then you pull it out this way, pull it to the stop, put a mark on it. Then you line the 2 marks up. Even. Oop. Get over there. The 2 marks up. Then measure out 2 inches more, so you got some room for the knot, and hold them together, make a mark. Now I'm going to tape these together. That way the bell crank is centered. Now, I don't know. Howard's got some crazy thing where they're canting the bell crank. My bell crank's tilted, but I'm not going to be, I've done it this way so many years that I'm not going to change now. We're going to tape these 2 together. That's why the ball links are adjustable. Okay, so we got the bell crank centered now. I mean, this can move, but not very easily. And it looks centered in there. This is just an approximate. Here we go. We got it tight now, so this can't move. Next, I need these screws here. I got me a new fast line squeegee. Okay, let me put these in the box so I don't lose the other 2 and get a ball link if I haven't lost them already, which is very possible. Crap. I've already lost the damn ball links. I didn't put them back. They got to be over here on the bench. I mean, they're in the building, but God only knows how long it's going to take me to find them. Okay. Nope. Shit. What the hell did I do with them? Yeah, I think I'm going to work on controls today. We'll get these flaps put on it and elevators and stuff. They'll show up. They'll show up. They're on the bench somewhere. I gotta have that ball link before I could go any farther. Aggravating. What the fuck did I do? Okay, they're not in this container where they're supposed to be. I remember having it in my hand. Not here. Okay, what the hell? They're buried underneath this trash somewhere, I'm sure. Let me get this off the bench here so I can see what I'm doing. Well, I think that I'm going to end the stream because it's going to take me a while to find these and I can't go any further until I got them. Let me tell you how this is going to go. As soon as I find them. Wait a minute, I wonder if I put them in with that. Nah, I didn't. But we'll look just in case, because nope. What's going to happen here is I'm going to cut the head of this 3mm bolt off, screw the ball link on it, cut this push rod, screw the ball link onto the horn, slide it back and forth until I got enough room to do this. Slide this in there, JB weld it, and let it dry. So it already has that, Steve. You ever heard the expression with a... Let's see, let me see exactly how it went. If you get a long enough lever, you can move the world. This is 15 inches across, or 30 inches across, 15 on each side, as opposed to a 1/2 inch fuselage. I would say if it was double the width, if it was 1 inch wide, it would still have that flex. I'm not sure, but I think my my built-up airplanes have a little flex in them, little shake. It just this is just so long. It's just inevitable. You're gonna have some twist. 4 minutes. Well, let me run this for 4 minutes more. I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to find those ball links. I'll go ahead and do the job offline and come back when I got that going and the JB Weld is in its B stage. And we'll work on this elevator. Today we're going to get it together though. I got all the fillets on it I need to sand. We'll get them sanded and primed, all the fillets. Get the flap shape stuck on. I can do all this in one day if I get after it. If I don't have to deal with cameras. And then start the detailing of putting in the fairings and get that hole plugged up. We're close. I mean, end of the month it'll be ready to paint. Then I got a couple of days work cleaning that other room up so I can paint in there. But right now I need to find those ball links. 3 minutes. You guys got any questions? It seems like everybody knows everything. I don't ever get any questions that are pertinent. Or do you guys just like to watch me struggle? Somebody said, it's nice to see the pros make mistakes. I make plenty of them. If you think you've made all the mistakes, you haven't built enough airplanes. Because each day, each project is a different challenge. And I think that's what keeps my mind working is all these challenges. Of course, as a mechanic, that's what I deal with every day too. Issues. How do I got to make a tool to tighten this bolt up or whatever? So, all right, that's going to do it for this stream. I'll find them ball links and get that all set up. Pretty self-explanatory. I know where them ball links are. They're with the aluminum push rod ends. But where did I put those? I got no clue. So I got to find them. Alrighty, like, subscribe, share, and this video helps you, please be sure to leave a comment. We'll see you later. Fair winds, tight lines. See ya.